Hi, this is how to play Deckhand Race to Infamy. First, I will explain the setup. Start by putting an Infamy card face down for each round of the game. Each round, one of those Infamy cards will be revealed for the players to fight over. Next, distribute an Infamy card to each player. That is it for the setup. We're ready to start the first round, which has two phases. First, reveal the Infamy cards for the round. There may be more than one. Then we enter the draft phase. Each player draws 5 cards from the deck to form the draft hand. Each player then chooses one card to keep and pass the remaining cards to their left. In even-numbered round, cards are passed to the right. Once all players have chosen 5 cards, the round moves into the building phase. Before we move on to the building phase, let's go over the card's anatomy. In the top left corner, you will see a resource icon framed by a blue border. This indicates that once the card is built, it will generate this resource. Next, you might see a banner on the pole. Those banner helps you claim infamy cards in the center and boost your endgame scoring. On the right side, you will find various effects, which will be explained later. Finally, on the left, you will notice the card's cost and its discard value. Discarding this card is another way to generate resources. In the building phase, each player selects one card they wish to build and place it face down in front of them. If a player chose not to build, they place the pass card instead and are out for the round. All players then reveal their chosen card. Now it's time to pay for its construction cost. At the beginning of the game, you have no production, so the only way to generate resource is by discarding cards. So how do we pay for this card? This card costs 1 bottle of rum, 1 parrot, and 2 silver coins. As we don't have any production yet, we'll need to discard cards. The infamy card has been given at the beginning of the game is worth 2 silver coins or 1 silver coin and draw 1 card. So we will use this one for the 2 silver coin. When you discard your infamy card, you have a choice. You can either put it back onto the infamy deck, or you might place it on one of the rounds. Let's say this one, which I will do there. Then we're left with paying 1 rum and 1 parrot. The parrot we could pay with this card, because by discarding this card, you get a parrot. So I will discard this card. Finally, we're still missing a rum bottle. We don't have any cards that will be worth a rum bottle when discarded. So as a last resort, you may discard any 2 cards to produce any one resource. For example, like so. The card is paid, then all players move their cards to their fleet. The first card you build each round goes into your fleet. Any second or third card will go into your hold. This is done so because only the card in your fleet can produce those resources immediately, in this case a gun or a parrot. And that's it, you just paid for your first card. Now people might resolve any effect on the cards, and one of them is checking the banners. If you have, for example, 3 animal banners in your fleet and hold, you might claim this card and take it for yourself. If that were the case, you may take this card and put it in your claim infamy column. That's it. Then you will start another building phase. In this case, as I don't have any more cards, I will just pass. Once every player has passed, That is the end of the round, and you start a new round altogether. Before you start the next round, there's two things you need to do. You need to take all the cards in your hold and put them on top of your fleet. And you must discard to a maximum of 8 cards, not counting the pass card. Let's simulate a second round to see how the production would work. In this case, you finished the draft and you were left with 6 cards. Let's say you want to build this one. Everybody reveals their card, and your card costs 1 emerald, 1 gun, and 1 parrot. In your production, you have 1 gun or 1 parrot, so one of those icons is accounted for. Let's say you pay for the gun, so you will left with 1 emerald and 1 parrot to pay. The parrot is easy enough. You can just discard this one, reveal it, and you pay. Then you will left with 1 emerald. Sadly, you don't have any cards that is worth 1 emerald, so again, I'm going to discard 2 cards. That's it. Now you can move it into your fleet, and this card is ready to produce this round. You could produce 2 parrots or 1 gun and 1 parrot. Now let's focus a little bit on the special icons. On the bottom left, you have a sheet explaining all the icons in the game. Let's start with the banners. The banners are on a pole on the top left of the cards will help you claim infamy cards and score extra points at the end of the game. As explained before, to claim an infamy card, for example this one, you will need to have 5 blue banners in your fleet and hold. Banners that are not on a pole, like those ones, do not help you claim further infamy cards or score extra points at the end of the game. They must be on a pole to have this effect. Next we have the resources, mostly explained already. Then a list of all the resources in the game. Worth noting, the 2 coins can be produced by discarding any card. The difference between the gold coin and the silver coin is there is no card in the game that produces gold coin once built. Next we have the infamy point symbols that give you infamy points for winning the game at the end. Next we have an explanation of how to produce infamy points with banners. This one simply means you will get at the end of the game 2 victory points for each ROM banners you have. Next we have the battle symbol. When you build a card with this symbol, its effect triggers with your next build. Each player then compares the infamy points, including the multipliers, from the card they built at the same time as you, adding 1 point per battle icon they own. The player with the highest total wins the battle and draw a card. If a player doesn't build any card, he doesn't participate to the battle. Then we have the spyglass. When a spyglass is activated or built, you may secretly look at one of the face-down infamy cards. You may blindly exchange it with one from the infamy deck if you wish. Next we have icons that signify drawing 1 or 2 cards from the deck. Next, that's the draw 3 cards, keep 1. You have to discard the 2 leftovers. Then we have the fire. The fire is interesting because it lets you place the card on your fleet to be produced immediately, even if it's not the first card you build that round. A card with 2 fire offers the same benefit, plus it allows the next card you build to go on the fleet as well. Next, you have a card, when the card with those icons, we produce what is on the right side when you build any card with the banner on the left side. In this case, if you build any cards with the map banner, you will draw 1 card. Next, we have the compass icon. When you have a compass, you may once per draft draw a card and add it to your hand before choosing a card. Before passing the remaining cards to your opponent, you must discard one, so the total remains unaffected. Compass effects are cumulative. Now the two last one. The tentacles give you an edge when it comes to breaking a tie if one arrives. The player with the most tentacles always wins claims over infamy cards, break ties in battles, and resolve ties in endgame scoring. Finally, the hooks give you an infamy point for each hook you own. So you have 3 hooks. This gives you 3 by 3, so 9 infamy points. At the end of the game, the one with the most infamy points win the game. Now a quick recap. Discarding for resources. As stated, you can discard any one card to get a silver or gold coin. You might discard your start of game infamy card to get 2 silver coin or 1 silver coin and draw a card. You will then discard a card with a resource icon surrounded by the red crossed frame to get that same resource. For example, you get 1 gun from this icon by discarding the card holding the icon. As a last resort, you may discard any 2 cards to get any 1 resource. Infamy cards can be claimed at 2 moments. When they're revealed, everybody can check if they possess those 2 banners, or when they build a card that will add a banner to their fleet or hold. That will be the moment to claim for the card, if possible. If 2 players claim the same card, it's a tie, and the card is rotated 90 degrees to show that nobody can claim this card anymore. If one of the players has more tentacles than the other, it will win the tie and claim the card anyway. When this card is claimed, you may resolve the effect immediately. For example, in this case, draw a card. If for any reason there is a conflict over which effect is resolved first, the governor, the oldest player, will decide how to resolve the effect. And that's it. You continue to play like this for 6 rounds. At the end of the 6 rounds, when everybody has passed building, that's the end of the game, and you can tally up the scores and see who won.